Hi, happy Sunday. I'm sorry I'm a bit late, but I didn't really mean to make a video today. It's just that I came on because I'm back in the shed because I was there. You know, I was like Val Singleton off Blue Peter. I was there with my sticky back plastic and my hammer, trying to put that clothes rail back together again. You know, it was funny. It was funny. I have to admit it was a funny thing that happened. I felt a little bit frustrated at the time, but looking back you can see it was a funny thing that happened. One thing about me, I can always laugh at myself. Wasn't it cold last night if you're in the UK? I was freezing. I mean, I hadn't got my winter duvet on because it was underneath the bed, and I've got one of those up and over bed things, you know, that you have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to open. So there was no way in the middle of the night that I was actually, you know, going to open it to find my winter duvet. So I got in bed, put my socks on, you know, the usual trick. Heated up my heat thing in the microwave, put my dressing gown on, and finally I fell asleep about 3 o'clock. But of course the upshot of that is that I didn't wake up till about 12:30, you know. Hey, a girl's got to have a beauty sleep from someplace. Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, I was watching Crochet Rocks and somebody tried to scam her. Somebody tried to scam me yesterday. It was on Facebook and this name popped up. Now she is a friend, but she's not a friend that I'm close to, you know. We've had conversations in the past, but it's been a long time ago. So it was like, hey John, how are you? And I thought, that's a bit odd. You know, she's got in touch with me after all this time. I thought, well, maybe people have done that when they said, oh, I've just watched your video, or I like that jumper you've made, you know, how much is it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this went on. She went, hi John, how are you? So I went back, fine. And then she was going on a little bit, and then she goes, have you heard about this this grant that you're eligible for? Your name's been put forward. I thought, spidey senses, you know. And she named this sort of CC whatever it is. That is a legitimate group of people. It's like a crochet group in America, I think, you know. But as far as I know, they don't give out grants willy-nilly. And it's the same in the UK. I mean, a friend of mine, she did apply for like a start-up business grant. She did eventually get it. But my goodness, did she have to go through hoops. It was like, you know, what's your sales, what's your projected sales, what's this, what's that. She had about 5 or 6 meetings with this guy, you know, and he's asking her what's she going to do, this wise, that wise. She got a tax number. She did eventually get a little pittance of a grant eventually at the end of it, but by gum, nobody said, here you are, you're eligible. We are going to give you a grant. So immediately I thought, no. So I let her waffle on. Well, it said it was a he, probably wasn't. Said it was a she, sorry, probably wasn't. And I let it waffle on for a bit. And then when she said, you can get so many dollars, I said, I said, you're not. I said, because she's in the UK. So she wouldn't have spoken to me about dollars. Silence at the other end. And I went, I think you're trying to scam me. Silence. So I just blocked whoever it was. I doubt it was. Definitely wasn't my friend, that's for sure. Hello. See, we get messages every time I come on this flipping thing. He definitely wasn't my friend. I mean, she's not a crocheter anyway. She's an artiste. She's a beautiful painter. She makes gorgeous paintings and that. So I know that she's not into crocheting in the slightest, you know. So I knew it wouldn't have been anything. He wouldn't have said, you can have a grant from this crochet, whatever. So be on your guard, people. If it sounds too good to be true, it is, yeah? So just... I mean, if you watch Tracy Crochet Rocks, somebody tried to scam her. I forget what it was all about. If you watch her video, her latest video, she'll tell you what it was all about. But, I mean, we've all had those, Ma'am, it's me, I've lost my phone, can you send, you know, so many, whatever. No. Or, I haven't got any money and I need the train fare to come home. No, you know. No, don't answer it. Don't answer it. If you need to, check with that person or somebody who knows that person to make sure that person is okay. And it's not a rare occasion. where it is your son, your daughter, your whatever that has, you know, is in trouble. 9 times out of 10, it isn't. It's somebody trying to scam you out of some money. So just be on your guard, because they're around and about. You know, not only do you get the emails, you know, hey, I'm contacting you about your long-lost relative who died in, it's always Africa, isn't it, South Africa, and he doesn't have any relatives. And I think, well, you're barking up the wrong tree, because my surname, actually, belongs to my ex-husband, who was adopted. So his family name is not... anybody in that family tree has really got no connection to him, have they? You know, except by adoption. So they're not blood relatives at all. So it's no good you trying to scam me with my, you know, my name, my married name, which I've kept. Because that is nothing to do with any of us, really. It's just a name we've got. I kept it because I didn't want to go back to my maiden name, because at the time I wanted the same surname as my son. Everything's creaking. It's very eerie in here. It's going creak, creak, creak. That's the trouble, you see. I don't like my wool being loose on shelves. I like it to be in plastic bags, cellophane bags, to keep it clean and away from anything, you know, crawling, creeping, wandering. You know, I like to think I'm keeping it safe, you know, that no moths can land on it or anything like that. Not that they probably would, because most of my stuff's acrylic, and I don't think a moth eats acrylic, but I may be wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. But the trouble with the plastic, the cellophane and that, when you're in here and it's quiet, it creaks. So you're like, ooh, ooh, what's that? He's doing it again over there now. It's going... And of course this pile of sweaters and jumpers that I've got delicately balanced there is in imminent danger of falling down and knocking the camera over yet again for 3 times in its life. I was having a long discussion, well, a short discussion with my son. You never have long discussions with my son about cameras, and he said, oh, you can get one much better than the one you've got for less than what you paid for that. So I'm hoping to get him on the hunt, because he's a much better, you know, finder of things. You know, I tend to go, oh yeah, that looks okay, I'll have that one, yeah, that looks fine. Where he will go into all the specs of everything and see how long this happens and that happens and what kind of, you know, pictures it takes and stuff like that. All things that wouldn't even enter my head to ask you. So I'm hoping that I've got him on the hunt, you know, for a new camera for me. So keep your fingers crossed. I might get longer than 30 minutes on one video. That would be a first in the first, what, last, what, about 5, 6, 7 years, however long I've been on here. I don't keep tally. I don't keep, this is my anniversary, I've been on here so many times. I don't even know how many videos I've put up. I don't count them. I don't put number such a thing on, you know. I'm not that good with anything to do with figures, numbers, dates. I'm just not that good at anything. I mean, Tracy today was talking about, you know, she tries to forget, like, the anniversary of when her mum passed away. I do the same. I do the same. I try to forget bad anniversaries like that. I try to remember people's birthdays and things like that. But the actual dates, unless Facebook reminds me, which it sometimes does, I don't remember, you know, days when my dad, my mum, my brother passed away, things like that. Because I try to not dwell on that. You know, it sounds horrible, but I tend to think of the happier times. You know, I'd like to think about them at birthdays. Oh, it's their birthday today, or it would have been their birthday today. They would have been so old today. You know, I like to think happier thoughts, you know. Yeah. Well, it's come to my notice that somebody had said that every video I make I whine on about my ailments. Please tell me if I do that, because I don't intend to. If I start doing that, comment underneath. Excuse me, Jan, you've said that before last week, don't say it again. Yeah. There's nothing worse, is there? I mean, yeah, when something happens in people's lives, you know, they've had an operation, they've had something that's happened in their life, yes, I do want to know, yeah. If somebody's, you know, lost the tonsils or whatever. You know, that's an interesting fact, isn't it? But somebody that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about the same old thing, same old, it gets old, old, old. So please, if I do that, tell me. I try to keep a happy channel. I'm usually happy. I mean, I woke up this morning. Last night I wasn't happy because I was freezing cold. But when I woke up this morning, everything was nice. The sun was out. It was lovely. And I'm thinking, it's a nice day today. And everything in my garden was rosy. Well, it wasn't really, because Rosie was running around knocking. She knocked my little angel down off my window bottom. But she didn't break it, so she is forgiven. Yeah, it was a little angel with little wings that my niece had bought me when Buster passed away. She bought it me to put on top of his ashes box, yeah. So we're talking about death again, aren't we? Oh dear. Anyway, I got a letter. I've got to make my dreaded HB1C thing, is it, for me diabetes? So I know it'll be smack hands, Janet. You've been a very naughty girl, because it's always the same. One of these days I'll go in and she'll say, oh, your results are wonderful. You've been such a good girl. Never going to happen. You have to smile, don't you? You have to laugh at things that are whatever. It's life. Life isn't always a bunch of roses. Life often slaps you in the face, but you have to deal with it. You deal. You move on. You deal. That's my attitude. My attitude is that I worry about things when I really need to worry about. Yeah. When people send me for blood test scans, whatever like that, I don't worry. I will worry when they tell me the results and it's something bad. And 99% of the time it isn't, is it? You know. So you've worried for nothing. My dad taught me that. My dad was a great, you know, sort of, came out with a lot of sayings, which come into my head. Like my mum, you know, my mum's beep, beep, beep in my head. My dad, his sayings come back to me, you know, or what he'll say things, you know. And I keep thinking, yeah, you're right, Dad. I mean, he once said to me, you know, you shouldn't worry about owing people money. Ring them up. Tell that person you can't pay them yet. Let them lie awake and worry. Why should you? You know, and I thought, good attitude, Dad. I never did put that into practice, I must admit. I never did. Because when I came out of the shop, you know, I owed people, you know, money. I owed things, taxes, I owed whatever. I paid every one of them off. People said, oh, you should have just gone bankrupt, you know. And I said, no, it's not me, not my nature. I paid everybody that I owed, I paid. I finished up with nothing. But that's life, innit, you know. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Most times you lose. Anyway, the light is fading and I still need to hang these garments up back on the rail, and if it collapses again, I will put a note in the comments saying, oh no, it's happened again. Anyway, thanks for everybody that joined me on the live last night. We had quite a great time. It was such fun. Well, I thought it was fun. I hope everybody else did as well. Was it just me having a good time? I hope not. Anyway, we did have a good time last night, yeah. We had a good fun. People were in a good spirits and good moods, and everybody was quite happy. And as usual, we got onto a variety of subjects, you know. If you've never been there, you don't know what we talk about. We talk about anything and everything. It's nothing to do with crafting normally, except I'm knitting a pair of socks, or I'm crocheting this, or I'm making that, or I've nearly finished this. It's not really a crafting channel. If that's what you want, it isn't, yeah. But if you like general, we were talking last night about the songs that you sang when you were a kiddie, when you did skipping rope, you know, which, you know, kids today don't know what it's about, do they? They don't know what it's like to go and pinch your mother's washing man and do skipping. You know, the songs we used to sing when we were just playing with, you know, tennis balls. You know, you're trying to juggle 2 and 3 tennis balls up against some poor unsuspecting soul's wall, that eventually would come out and say, can't you move? It's getting on my nerves, you know. But as kids, you don't see that, do you? You know? We used to play ages, like, you know, poo sticks, where you throw little sticks in one side of the bridge and you run across to the other side to see who's won, you know, whose sticks come through first. And then there's a big argument, isn't there? No, that was my stick, that wasn't your stick, that was my stick. Oh. But all in all, I had a very joyful childhood, and no money, but hey, sets you in good state for later when you get to my age and you still have no money. By the way, that is not a hint, and I do not have my PayPal address underneath. No, that ain't me, that ain't me. A beggar I will never be. Anyway, on that note, I'm going, because I want to put these garments back on the rail. Fingers crossed for me, people, that it doesn't shunt again. It's got that much sticky back. It's really strong plastic stuff. It's kind that would stick a horse to a fence, you know. It's really good stuff, that. So hopefully it will hold. And I had my son's trusty hammer. A bit rusty in it. Found it in the shed. I don't know where he's had that, but probably left it out. It's got a bit rusty. I must put it back. Anyway, apparently we've now got a security light in the garden, which will be nice because, you know, you can't come out here in the dark. What I want now is little stepping stones, because the grass is always so sodden. So when you go in, you know, anything you've got on your feet and the bottoms of your trousers can be wet through. We did order some little stepping stone things that were like little paws, but they never turned up. So I must hint that we get some more. Because it isn't nice, you know, like wandering through wet grass, especially when it's long, you know, and you can't see what you're doing. Anyway, by the way, I'm waffling. I tell you what, I've got a degree in waffle. I can waffle with the best. Always have been able to get that from me dad. Right, bye now. See you all very soon.